Hello everyone, how are you? So, in the last session, we saw what is the function, how it works, and how we must to define it and use it. Good. So in this session, we will continue with functions, but we will work a little on the arguments of a function. So we'll see how we can use them in order to be more efficient and more powerful in working. So, for example, we'll define with the keyword def a function as some functions. So as you see, some as written like this, it is a built-in function. So to differentiate it from the built-in function, we will add to here as 0. So sum 0, it is a function with those parentheses will define two arguments a and b, and what those arguments will do, just will return their sum, so a plus b. So this is what mainly this function will do. So if we print an example of this sum, for example 3 with 4, so we'll have this result, which is 7. Good. So this is what we have seen in the last session. But what if we have give to this function just one argument? So we'll see what will happen. So there is no result, and Python tells us that there is a type error because this function takes exactly two arguments, but one just is given, which is true. So how to fix this problem? We can, for example, give an arbitrary value to the second argument. For example, if the user didn't give or doesn't give a value to b, b must have an arbitrary value, which for example equal to 0. So how to define this is to go to the definition of our function, and in the last argument we can add this value, equal 0 or equal 1 or equal the value that we want to be the arbitrary value. Good. So if we give this arbitrary value to b, now this sum will function, and we will have here 3, because 3 plus 0 equal to 3. We can also do this with the other arguments. For example, with a, we can give also 0 to a, and we can use sum without any arguments, and we will have 0 as you see. Good. So this is for this function, and of course if we give the non-zero values, for example 2 and 9, it will work and give us the sum of 2 and 9. Good. Now what if we don't know how argument that we will pass to this function? For example, if we have many values that we can pass, sometimes two arguments, other times 3 or 5 or more or less. So how can we fix this problem? So I will give you another example with another function. For example, function of multiplication, we'll name it pro for products. So we'll define two arguments, a and b, and with this colon we'll return to the line with tabulation, of course, and we'll define a return which is the multiplication of a and b. Of course, if we print the results of this product, for example of 15, 50, 55 and 66, we will have this number. But what if we give to it 3 arguments, for example those arguments? So it is the same problem, type error, because this function takes exactly 2 arguments, not 3. So how can we fix this problem? Because, for example, if we create this function for production or for multiplication, the user can each time use a variable number of arguments. So to fix this problem, we have to use here a very special techniques which use these asterisks with an argument. For example, we can call it numbers, for example, to be in order to be obvious. So those numbers are now a list of numbers. So for number in numbers, which is the argument that we pass, because here number is just one number, but here it is the list of numbers that the user will or has been passed to the function. So of course, with this for loop, what we will do, we will multiply these numbers. But before that, we have to define a number which will be the beginning of this multiplication. So for number in numbers, each time n will be multiplied with this number that we have reached. Good. So this sign here means that each time this number, which is n, will be multiplied each time by number. So, and in the final line we will return the value of n. So now we can of course do this multiplication. So this is the result, and we can this function can accept more numbers and other numbers like this, and just with 2 numbers, and even just with 1 argument, and more also with no arguments. So it's equal to 1 because we have defined the beginning of this product with 1. Good. So this is how this asterisks technique is used to work in the functions that we do not know how many arguments the users will pass to it. So we can use this technique. So this is our lesson for today. So we have seen how to give an arbitrary value to an argument or 2 or more, and how to use this asterisks method to make the function more easy to, or more acceptable to accept any given number of arguments. So this is all what we have for today. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next session.